Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we've got a couple of news stories to get through in the world of tech and PC gaming. First up, we're going to be talking about the NVIDIA RTX 3000 series again. We talked the other day about this new 12-pin power connector, this adapter that's going to be available along with Founders Edition cards and likely any other add-in board partner cards if they end up going that route as well, requiring that power connector. So of course, with the new power connector, of course, are going to come along some new power supplies, and there have already been a couple of announcements from power supply manufacturers confirming 12-pin support in their new products out of the box. So obviously a lot of people are going to be looking to possibly go out and upgrade, even though in many cases they actually don't need to. We've also got some news on Marvel Avengers and a huge day one patch control coming to GOG, and also a brief just sort of announcement, I guess, about the new Mafia 1 remake. No, I wouldn't really call it even an announcement. That's vague at best. Just stay tuned and we'll get fired into all of it. But first, today's video is brought to you by MMORC.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro, which you can get for just $15, as well as Office 2019 Pro and Office 365. And if you act right now, you can get an additional 27% off with my code JOK27 at checkout, and that'll knock the price down on Windows 10 Pro from $15.29 all the way down to $11.16. And of course, they accept a wide variety of payment from PayPal to credit cards to Bitcoin. So be sure to act now and hit up the links down in the description below. So first up, let's talk about those power supplies. Now, the first story that I saw about this was from Be Quiet, who introduced a new 1200 watt and 1500 watt digital Dark Power Pro 12 PSU series with the 12-pin header on out of the box from Be Quiet. They actually didn't have it in the initial press release, but obviously they got enough questions from the public asking them, is there going to be support for the new NVIDIA products out of the box and everything? Will they have the appropriate connectors to hook up right to the power supply? And since this story initially broke about the new power supplies in the press release, Be Quiet did respond directly, and they had this to say: "We are anticipating the launch of NVIDIA's next generation of graphics cards, and although NVIDIA announced that they include an adapter for their graphics cards that requires a new 12-pin power connector, we offer our customers an additional solution to use their Be Quiet power supply with the latest NVIDIA graphics card. This solution will come in the form of a full 12-pin cable, and to avoid any additional resistance that may be induced by an adapter, that will work with all of our modular high wattage power supply units." So this cable will plug directly right into the power supply without the need of an additional adapter. So that's what they're talking about, is any possible additional distance being introduced from the adapter that NVIDIA is going to be supplying. And Guru3D also commented on this and said that I just checked one more thing, and as it stands, if you bought a Dark Power Pro and can show proof of purchase a relevant NVIDIA graphics cards, you'll get the cable for free. Otherwise, you will need to go out and purchase it. So if you have proof of your purchase from, a previous power supply and you want to go ahead and get the cable, then you can get one free directly from Be Quiet if you're not going to get one of these newer units that'll probably have them right out of the box. Otherwise, you'll have to pay for it separately if you can't provide proof of purchase or something or otherwise. But MSI also was actually in the news and announcing a new lineup of power supplies as well. And as you can see, we've got the rear IOs on these power supplies, showing configurations that would be more conducive to working with the new Ampere-based GPUs and those new 12-pin power connectors. So it seems like MSI and Be Quiet are kind of ahead of the pack, but of course we will see some other manufacturers enter into the ring and get ready for what is the now imminent release of the RTX 30 series, or the 21 series, as I'm still thinking it's going to be called. Moving on from there, Marvel's Avengers, which is going to be coming out very soon. Obviously, they had the beta. It had a lot of issues. You may have seen my performance video on that, running the game at 4K, where there are some massive frame drops all the way down into the 30s. So pretty poor performance, especially considering the visuals on hand in the game, which were, they were decent, but I just didn't really feel like the performance was really scaling very well when adjusting graphics options. And also there seemed to be a lot of issues with performance when it came to 4K. So this is a game that definitely could use something like DLSS 2.0, although as of right now, we don't know for a fact that they're working on anything like that, let alone in this day one update, which they're saying is going to be 18 gigabytes. Square Enix did issue a official statement on this patch saying that over the last 3 weekends, millions of you have played the game for tens of millions of hours and killed hundreds of millions of AIM enemies. Your participation has been of immense value to us as we work to squash bugs, tune performance, and finalize game balance. We hope you will see and feel it when you play the final game. So not really giving us any information there at all, except for they really appreciate it that we played the game and basically were free bug testers, which they could have been paying for to play their broken buggy pile of shit. And then we get actual no information here as to what they're working on. So probably this game is going to come out and still be a broken piece of shit. It's going to run like hot garbage. And honestly, the game didn't really seem worth anyone's money anyway. It's kind of like a Destiny 2 sort of ripoff or Anthem type of game, which is not really a good thing. It's like someone saw Anthem and was like, hey, this game is like Destiny, but with Iron Man jetpack suits. And they were like, hey, we own Iron Man. Let's make a game like that since we actually already own Iron Man and basically make the same thing. And it's not good. Hopefully maybe they could fix the performance though, and it might be worth playing for some people on a sale later on down the road. But for $60, personally not going to be a buyer on this one, especially if they can't handle that performance. That game ran like dog shit. Next up, speaking of a game that when it came out did have some performance issues in Control. It was actually an Epic exclusive initially at launch. It's now going to be finally coming to GOG. So people that wanted to get their hands on with this game from the Alan Wake developers, it'll now be DRM free. So if that's something that's important to you, you'll be able to play it. The game was obviously cracked a long time ago, so even though GOG games are typically cracked super fast, I don't think anyone's really waiting on that. So it was a good game. I enjoyed what I played of it. The performance definitely got better with post-launch patches and NVIDIA driver updates, the introduction of DLSS 2.0 into it. Also, definitely help performance for RTX card owners. So if you really want to, that's one of the main reasons to play this game is the gameplay is solid, but it was really just a show-off piece, a showcase really for RTX. And so far of the games that have come out featuring ray tracing, Control has above and beyond had the most features in there and everything. You had the shadows, reflections, you had DLSS and all of that. So Control, if you have an RTX card, that's a reason to own it, is really just to see what those cards can potentially do in the future once we have more ray traced titles. And I also mentioned a brief announcement for Mafia at the end of the video. Really, I just wanted to make people aware that there is a ton of new gameplay that has started to creep up online this week in first impressions as the games media has been able to get hands-on time with the game. Myself, unfortunately, I have not been able to play the game, but so far what I'm seeing in this extended gameplay sessions is that the game looks incredible. Performance seems to be decent. So far, most of the PC gameplay that I have seen captured was done at 1440p. And I believe on the two videos I watched were 2080 Ti's, and they seem to be running it at a solid 60 frames per second at 1440p, which is definitely respectable. But the frame rates when they were showing them were locked. So hopefully 4K can handle it as well when the game does come out on the 2080 Ti. Otherwise, might just have to wait for the 3000 series to play this game, which will be perfect, as this game's coming out September 25th. So looking forward to playing that. But that is all of the news I have got for you guys today live from the cabin. Probably going to be the last video I do from up here until I get back home. But if anything exciting happens over the next couple of days before I do leave, then I'll definitely be seeing you guys again. But I'm going to go now. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys next time for another video. Ciao.